Welcome to Rewrite Reality, where we peel back the layers of how we imagine our world, then explore what it means to build different futures. I'm Gregg the Artivist, and on today's episode, we dive into From Audience to Participant. Join me to reflect, challenge assumptions, and spark possibility. Thanks for being here. Let's get into it. We've been trained to think of ourselves as audiences, constantly being entertained, spectators, consumers. We scroll, we watch, we like, and somewhere along the way, we mistake that for belonging. But community isn't something you watch. Community is something you do. I learnt this in the most ordinary of ways, sitting in a small neighborhood center, listening to people share their stories. There was no stage, no cameras, no algorithms, just voices, pauses, laughter, a little bit of awkwardness. And in that space, something shifted because people weren't performing, they were participating. And that's what community really is, not an audience, but a verb. We've all seen how easily participation gets stripped away. Social media tells us we're connected while reducing us to metrics. Politics tell us we're represented by only letting us drop a vote every few years. And markets tell us we're empowered, but only if we're buying. No wonder so many of us feel powerless. We've been trained to believe our role is to sit back and consume. But what if community is built the same way anything else is built? Through practice, through verbs, listening, hosting, sharing, contributing. Not perfectly, not always comfortable, but actively. Even in activism, the trap is real. We go to marches, take photos, post it online, and think that's participation. But real change comes from the unglamorous verbs, by showing up again and again, organizing, cooking food, holding space for others when we're tired. When we move from audience to participant, the world stops being something that just happens to us. It becomes something we co-create. For me, the shift has been about learning to listen first. It's easy to walk into a space with my own agenda, with my climate framing ready to go. But when I stop and really listen to neighbors, to teachers, to friends at the dinner table, I notice the overlaps. Housing, healthcare, work, family, all these struggles are connected to the bigger story of climate and justice, but connection doesn't start with me naming it. It starts with me hearing it. That's where community begins, not in big speeches, but in small, ongoing verbs. Here's a small action I'd like us to try this week, and that's to host a micro story circle. It doesn't have to be formal. Invite 2 friends or colleagues or neighbors, and give each person 10 minutes to share something they're navigating in life right now. Everyone else just listens. No fixing, no advice, just being present. And then spend the 10 minutes reflecting on what stood out. That's it. That's participation. And here's the thing, participation doesn't always look like speaking. It might be washing the dishes after a meal. It might be helping someone carry a box of flies. It might be sitting in silence with a friend who just can't talk yet. These aren't glamorous moments. They won't go viral, but they stitch us together. And here's my personal moment. I used to think participation had to be big, a protest, a speech, a campaign. But I've come to realize the smallest acts of showing up, by cooking, by listening, by telling one honest story, are what hold the fabric together. They're not flashy, but they're real. And honestly, that's what excites me about building the Gregg the Artivist app too. It isn't about creating another feed to scroll through. It's about creating a place where people can share, can connect, and can participate in shaping the story together, because community isn't performance, it's practice. So here's my question this week for you. Where in your life could you take one step closer to with and one step further away from at? Not talking at people, not watching at a distance, but moving into the messy, beautiful work of with. Thank you so much for listening to this episode of Rewrite Reality. If this resonated, I would love to hear from you. So please do leave a comment wherever you're listening. What are you feeling? What came up for you? What's your take on today's topic? And consider sharing it with someone who might also be thinking deeply about the world around them. And be sure to subscribe so you don't miss future episodes as we keep peeling back the layers and reimagining what's possible. And if you haven't already, check out Gregg the Artivist app. It's your hub for everything from listen podcast episodes like this one to watch featured videos to upcoming online and offline events. And it's also the easiest way to stay connected with our growing community. You can download it now from the App Store for iPhone users or Google Play for Android. If you prefer, there's always gregtheartivist.com for supportive information and more to this and all other episodes. Until next time, it's bye from me for now.